Well, Chris, welcome to Walsall Football Club, joining us on an interim basis. First of all, how did this come about for you?
Well, basically, a few weeks back, I received a phone call. It was Matt Sadler, and we'd seen each other before. I've seen him at various functions, football dinners, etc., but nothing too deep. We had a really good chat, and then he told me that what was happening, and would I be interested? And it sort of piqued my interest, and we spoke a few times on the phone. Then I came in, had a chat with him for a couple of hours after the lads had trained. Then I came the following week to watch them train, but from a distance. And eventually I just said, yeah, it would be a good idea for me to come in and to add to what they already got, because they've got a good culture here, good environment. When I watch them train, I've watched the games on my iPad. I felt it wasn't right to come to the games. I just felt it was best just to look from afar. And I really like what I see. Hopefully, the way things are going, that they can carry on for the team and for the football club.
So like it's a good thing that you've had the chance to watch the team play from afar. You've seen the lads first-hand training, so how beneficial has that been?
Very good. It's helped me make up my mind. I see some good players here, young and old. I think there's a good blend, a good young manager who, wants to progress and wants to progress the football club and the staff around him. What I liked actually, I came to the training ground, and it just felt right. It just felt right. It's for an interim basis, of course, but it just felt right that I could add to what's already here, and hopefully, the chats I'll have with the staff, and I think actually I'll be learning from them. I don't think it's the other way around, because it's League Two. I haven't been at this level for a while, but football's football. I enjoy my football. I like watching games. I've been busy with media work since I left my last role at Sheffield Wednesday. I've been to non-league games. I've been to Premier League games. I love football. So the level doesn't deter me, but I need to learn about it pretty quickly. The season's up and running. I've got no sort of time to bed myself in. We've got a very important game coming up on Saturday, and I need to feel part of it immediately. And I have no doubts that I will. With the staff, but particularly the players who are the important ones. I feel that the ambition of the place is something that I really like.
You mentioned there that obviously you've got to learn a bit about the level, but for yourself it's almost 300 games as a manager, so plenty of experience, plenty of knowledge. So is it about also you passing that on to the lads and almost as well acting as a soundboard for Matt as well? Yeah,
I think this role will be quite a mixture really of sort of being out on the grass, but also having good chats with Matt, with Darren, with the rest of the staff. I've got to learn the names, so I can't name everyone, but and I think it's important that even the players, I'll be able to be a sounding board for them. I really like what I see, and I think they have shown what they're capable of. But of course, you have to keep your discipline. You have to keep your level. But there's an identity here. That's what I like. And the club knows what they are. The team knows what they are. The manager does. And I think when you have something like that, it can be quite powerful. And what you want is for the fans to be on board with that, and from what I've seen so far, they are. And, you go together. Everyone goes together. This isn't something just for the staff or just for the players. It's for everyone.
And of course, well, you've had some other notable coaching roles, haven't you? Particularly with England, working with Gareth Southgate. First of all, what was that experience like? Did you go into tournaments and representing your country?
Yeah, I was only meant to do a year for the Euros 2020. But then that got delayed, of course, for COVID, and I stayed for 2021. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out the way it should have done. I'm still disappointed now, 4 years on, but They wanted me to stay for Qatar, for the World Cup. Brilliant experience, working with elite players, and our elite. You know, people use that word a lot, but when you work with someone like Harry Kane and see what his mindset is, or Jude Bellingham, or Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, I mean, it's fantastic, you know, and I cherish the times I had with those guys. You know, Bukayo Saka now is a main player for Arsenal, and you just saw his development and growth. But Gareth, a fantastic manager with regards to how he deals with people, his emotional intelligence is second to none. And Steve Holland and all the other staff that I learnt from, yeah, you know, I wouldn't change that for the world. It came out of nowhere, but you know, I grabbed it with both hands, and you know, coaching sessions were very easy with those guys because you just put a session on and let them play, you know, and they made it easy, and you know, I'm forever grateful for that opportunity that I had, and it's just another thing on my CV which, you know, I'm very proud of.
You talk about working with the elite there. Are there things that you can pick up and that you learn from there that can translate into this role?
It translates to any level, you know, and I'll say that to anyone. Yes, they are the sort of the top of the tree as such, but I'll tell you right now, their preparation and their learning, whether it's visual, whether it's, you know, on the grass, whether it's actually seeing something, it's the same. It is the same. The decision making's the thing that is different. It really is, and I think if you can, you know, get that into the mentality and mindset of players at any level, you know, you can progress. So, you know, we've got players here that have played for a long time, had good careers. I think they're very important for the younger players that are here. We've got some players here that I've seen so far from the games I've watched that actually, you know, these are guys that are going to have good careers, you know, touch wood, injury-free, etc. They can play for a long time at a good level, and hopefully, you know, the club benefits from that as well. So, yeah, I mean, you always take your experiences forward with you, and it's how you use them, you know, and I think sometimes you just got to be careful on how you do that, and recognise where you're at and what an individual needs, or what a unit needs, or what a team needs, or a squad. And, you know, as I said right at the start, I think that's important for me, that I see exactly how the guys work and fit in with that, and I'm sure I will. You know, I've already had good chats with them, and you know, I have a good feeling that you know, I will be able to help the team, help Matt, but also they help me in turn.
Yeah, you talk about sort of recognising the environment you're in. I imagine you have to do that in your other recent coach roles. You've had Sheffield Wednesday, you went abroad, Tottenham as well. So, firstly, have you sort of seen different perspectives of football, and then you come into here as well, like you said, there's a clear identity here, so
yeah,
you're sort of seeing football from so many different perspectives, aren't you?
Yes, you know, I've Tottenham was academy football, so sort of the development of young players and how you progress them. You know, I learnt a lot from the staff there. I really did. The academy manager and the 21s and 18s coaches. You know, I learnt a lot from them with regards to development at Category 1. But then I went abroad to Holland. That was absolutely brilliant, but that was COVID. You know, you mentioned I've had 300 games as a manager. I've had maybe that amount as an assistant. So actually, I've seen it from both sides. You know, I've seen it from both sides, and you know, I don't really have the ambition to manage again. I think it's a young man's game now, so you can carry on with that, Matt. But you know, I still love the game, and I still want to be involved, whether that's coaching, whether that's supporting, mentoring, whatever it is. You know, whoever it's for, I like to do that. You know, it's been my life since I was 16. I had a long career as a player at all levels again, you know, and similarly with managing and coaching. So, you know, it's, you know, I'm proud to be here. I really am, you know, and I didn't think it would happen, but it has. That's how the game is. You know, you're doing things. You get a phone call and it changes the dynamic. So hopefully, you know, this will be beneficial to me, but more importantly to Walsall Football Club.
Yeah, you touched on it there. I think it's over 750 games as a player, as well as back to all the coaching and managerial experience. Also, a real honour for yourself picking up an MBE last year. How proud are you of that?
Yeah. I mean, I don't talk about it too often. I was so surprised when I received the letter, and yeah, going to Windsor Castle last October, so it's nearly a year now. I took my mum, my wife, my children. It was a great honour. It was a superb day. You know, it's actually missed a game. Sheffield Wednesday were at Brentford in the Carabao Cup, and I said to the manager at the time, I've got this award, can I go? And he said, well, go and come back for the game. I said, it's not really like that, you know, and he was fine, Danny, you know, a really good guy, and I spent the evening with my extended family, and a great honour. Couldn't really believe it, but yeah, it was Princess Anne, so that was quite good for me because I've met Charles, met the late Queen, late Prince Philip. I've met William twice, so actually I've kind of completed the set. So yeah, it was a great day, great honour, and you know, to be recognised for what I've done in the game, I think anyone would, you know, marvel at that and love that. And yeah, it's now after my name, which is very, very strange, but great honour. Yeah.
Sounds like an amazing achievement, so congratulations on that from
Thank
all
you.
of us here.
Yeah.
Just finally, how excited are you to be getting back out there on the grass, working with Matt and working with what's a group of young, hungry footballers?
Yeah, no, it's. I think anyone will tell you that's where you want to be. You know, I love watching games, and I was at West Brom, Leicester on Friday night. But there's nothing like being on the touchline. There's nothing like improving people, improving players, being with a group that has a common goal. There's nothing like it, you know. And the club wants to achieve something, you know, and hopefully I will help and have a small part in that. But you know, the bigger picture is trying to improve people, players, and the football club as a whole.
Chris, thank you very much and welcome to Walsall Football Club.
Thank you.